Hi friends, welcome back to our summer scale challenge. We are on week 4. This week we're going to build a major scale on A and a harmonic minor scale on F sharp. Because F sharp minor starts on a black key, we're going to change the fingering around. The more we do of these, the more you're going to start to understand what the fingering patterns are and what the general rules are. But for this week, I would say just follow along closely. Play your F sharp minor scale very slowly, very mindfully. Read it written out if you have to and follow the fingerings. And do whatever works for you to just kind of get the slow, mindful repetition under your fingers. Like I said, the more of these we do, the more of these black key scales that we do, the more you're going to see the patterns. But for this week, without a whole lot of context, I would say just do it slowly and mindfully. I'll talk you through it. You can read it if you need to, but maybe spend a little bit more time getting to the piano this week and work on playing it a little bit more frequently if you can. But you'll get it, so keep at it. Okay, let's dig into our 2 scales for this week. Major. If we follow our major scale formula, beginning on A, here are the notes that we'll get in our A major scale. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So the sharps that we have in A major in order are C sharp, F sharp, and G sharp. This tends to feel actually pretty good under your fingers because your C sharp happens at your right hand cross, like this. My left hand will look like this. And my hands together will look like this. All normal scale fingering. We didn't need to change any of your fingering to accommodate any black keys because you didn't end up with 1s or 5s on any of them. So this one should feel pretty familiar to you. If you also noticed, each time we add a new scale, we are adding a new sharp, but we're taking our sharps with us from the previous scale. So for example, we did G major a few weeks ago. We had an F sharp. After that, we went to D major. D major also had an F sharp, but it had an added sharp. And that was C sharp, right? So we're collecting these sharps and bringing them with us each week. If you also notice, in G major, the first sharp that we had was the 7th note of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then back to 1. D major, we took that F sharp with us, but our new sharp was the 7th note of the scale here too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So A major, we remember that we took C sharp and F sharp with us from D major, right? Our new sharp, if we followed our scale formula, was G sharp, which is also the 7th note of the scale. So you can pay attention to this pattern as we go on week to week in all of your major scales. You're going to take your sharps with you and add a new one. Our new one is always going to be the 7th note of the scale. And if you want to check, you can just keep building scales using your major scale formula. All right, let's try F sharp minor. Because F sharp is a black key, remember we can't start with finger 1. We have to change your fingering here. I'm going to show you the fingering really carefully and slowly. Your job is just to kind of pay close attention to what it is and try it on repeat until it feels good. When we get into multiple octave scales and when we start to kind of dig into some other black key scales, you're going to see the overall pattern. Generally, we want to cross after finger 4 and after finger 3. So you're going to see this pattern take shape the more we do, but for right now, just kind of follow along and see if you can do what I do. And for F sharp minor, we're going to start with your right hand on finger 3. then finger 4 on G sharp. You notice how my hand is trying to stay very relaxed? I'm not worried about my cross yet. I'm not coming in like this. I'm just keeping my hand kind of straight on top of the keys. I'm going to tuck my thumb under gently and play A, B, C sharp with finger 3, finger 1 on D. Now we're studying the harmonic form, which means that our 7th note is E, but we're going to raise it a half step and we're going to make it an E sharp. We also have to use the next finger, which means finger 2 is going here. And finger 3 returns on the F sharp, just like we started. So I'll show you again slowly. 3, 4, finger 1 comes under to A, fold your hand over. B, C sharp, finger 1 comes under again. Open your hand, the next finger goes to the next note, and the next note is E sharp that has been raised. Then back down, finger 3, play to your thumb, and then 4, 3. The left hand is going to start with finger 4 and play towards your thumb. We're going to cross on finger 3 on C sharp. Our E sharp is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and place 4 on F sharp because that's where I started. If you end with 3 or 2, it's not the end of the world. But if you remember to land on 4, it's going to make your next octave much easier once you get into 2 octave scales. I'll show you again coming up and then we'll come it down. 4, 3, 2, 1, finger 3, 2, 1 on E sharp, 4. You'll notice that I'm trying to make my crosses as swift as possible. There's 2 reasons for that. 1, I'm more likely to find the next note more comfortably. The 2 is that when I cross swiftly, I have more control about how I'm sinking into the next note so that I don't kind of drop my finger in. If I'm already there, I have much more control about how I drop into the next key. All right, so this may be a week that you need a ton of hands alone practice, just until it feels good, until you feel like your fingers independently know what they're doing. I'll show you hands together now slowly. The cool thing about this scale is that I start with 4 here, but 3 here, but I have this 4-3 thing happening around the same time. So watch what happens. Right hand comes under. Finger 3s happen on the C sharp together. Right hand comes under, over. Finger 3s happen together again. Left hand under. And you have this 4-3 thing happening simultaneously. So again, hands together is going to look like this. 3s together. Okay, that wraps up your tutorial for this week. If you find that it takes a little bit longer for these scales to cook, that's totally okay. If you find you're getting behind and your previous week's scales haven't totally gelled under your fingers yet, bring them with you to the next week. You don't have to stop the challenge. You can catch back up. But a lot of these scale fingerings inform the others. So the more you do, the more they'll make sense under your hands and the more they'll start to feel like they're coming a little bit more intuitively. So just keep working at them. Slow, mindful, repetitive practice is best, and get to the piano a little more frequently if you have to. You don't have to sit down for a long period of time practicing scales. Just see if you can get to the bench to practice them, play them through a couple times, and then walk away more frequently, and I promise they will start to feel better. And as always, whatever you're playing this week, I hope you enjoy the music in your home.